Today we're taking a look at Ethereum, performing some technical analysis and making some price predictions for the next few days and weeks. Let's check it out. How's it going, guys? Ryan here and welcome back to another crypto video, and today we are taking a look at the ETH coin, which exists on the Ethereum blockchain. We're going to perform our usual technical analysis and make some price predictions on where we could see the value of the coin go in the next few days, weeks and months. But before we get into that, guys, please remember to leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy today's video and subscribe for more of this sort of content. We cover crypto, investing, stocks and wealth management. So if that tickles your fancy, hit subscribe and turn on bell notifications. I'd also love to know your thoughts down in the comments section below on Ethereum and whether or not you are an ETH holder. But without further ado, let's jump straight into the technical analysis. As always, guys, welcome into CoinSpot. If you're looking to buy Ethereum or any other cryptocurrencies, there is a link down in the description of this video where you can sign up immediately. But without further ado, let's take a look at ETH on the Ethereum blockchain. So, as you can see, we have got the hourly chart up to start off with. I'm just going to zoom out so you can see what's occurred over the past few weeks. And as you can see, we've had a bit of a trough and the price has recovered from that slightly. We did have a really big red day around about here, which was on roughly the 22nd of June. And we can see the price dipped on that day down to $2,332 Australian. It's now currently sitting at $2,933 Australian. It's actually just updated to 34, and we are starting to trend in a bit more of an upwards direction. I'm actually going to change to the daily chart for today's analysis, as we have a lot of history and it makes it a lot easier to make some really good technical analysis decisions and price predictions. So let's look at the overall history. We can see that Ethereum, like many cryptos, has had fantastic years, and at its peak in Australian dollars it hit 4,800 roughly, which is a large amount and about almost double the value of what it currently is at $2,930. So where are we currently sitting? Well, we can see that after the big drop that was coming about due to Bitcoin failing, it has started to level out overall, which is positive news. It has formed a very, very solid base of support for us. And we can see that here, and that's roughly at $2,340 Australian. I'm just going to chuck in a line for support so you can see exactly where that is. And as you can see, we've had plenty of price action across this point historically and recently as well. This is the point where the price typically tends to bounce off. Now, conversely, where is our key point of resistance? Well, let's bring this up. And I think our key point of resistance is roughly where we are sitting up here at $3,170 odd. And the reason I've marked that as the key point of resistance is because of all the price action that you can see has occurred at that point in time. That is the first target, I suppose, we need to hit. And you can see that over the past couple of days, it's tried to break that place of resistance in order to break the current trend. Unfortunately, it hasn't done so. But what we are seeing now is a doji. And a doji is basically a candle which indicates we're about to potentially see a reversal in the price. So we did have a little dip over the past few days where we came down, we broke through, we've gone up, we've tested, come back, tested again multiple times on multiple days, have not managed to get through, then a big drop. But what we're seeing now is that doji form here, which could indicate that we're actually going to go and test this point again. Now, what other indicators can we bring into play here in order to get a better picture? I'm going to bring in the MACD first, the moving average convergence divergence. And unfortunately, what we're about to see is the shorter term trend is going to go below the longer term trend, which is indicating that we are potentially in for a bit of a rocky few days if that does occur, unless we see some significant buying volume really pick up and drive us north. Now, what does this mean? So I think this means that based purely on the MACD alone, we're going to see this sort of a pattern occur. We're going to be bouncing between the support and resistance points until one of them is breached. We're trading horizontally at this point in time, basically. So we're going to continue to move in that type of direction. Now, hopefully we don't see this cross, but I think we're going to. It looks pretty inevitable at this point in time. Let's also take a look at the relative strength index. And that is showing us we are basically dead in the middle. It is sitting at right now 46.85 points. So it couldn't go up, it can go down. It doesn't really come into play here. We're not oversold, we're not overbought, we're dead center basically. So anything can happen from a volume perspective in that sense, and that is largely due to the fact that we've been trading horizontally. So let's remove that one and let's bring in our final indicators. These are the ones which will typically give us the best outlook for the coming days. So let's bring in 3 key moving averages. The first moving average is going to be our 20-day moving average, and we're going to have that in blue. The next is the 50-day moving average, and we're going to have that one in red. The third and final is going to be our biggest, and that is the 200-day moving average, and we're going to have that one in green so it stands out from the rest. Actually, you know what? It's a bit hard to see in that color, so we're going to make it pink. Right, so as you can see, all the averages right now are roughly at the same spot. The main one, the 200 days, sitting at 2,685. The 50-day moving average is sitting at 3,159, and the 20-day moving average is sitting at 2,875. And you can see what has occurred in the past is we've recently had, and when I say recently, in the past month, we have seen that the short-term 20-day crossed below the longer-term 50-day moving average. So that obviously indicated for us that we're going to continue dipping, and there's really no surprises here. Obviously, we have copped it around here as a result of Bitcoin dropping in value. All cryptos are in the same boat in that sense. What is interesting though is we are now getting very, very close to each of these moving averages touching each other. Now, what we see is the 200 days going to act as support for us. We don't want to see the price, like it was doing over here, dropping below that 200-day moving average. We want to see it stepping up above. What you can see is the 20 days also acting as support for today, with the price bouncing off it, and the 50-day is acting as a resistance point currently, where we have bounced off that multiple times trying to breach. So this breach is going to be really critical for us. If we're able to breach not only the resistance, which is sitting here at $3,180 odd, we are also going to breach the 50-day moving average. And what does that mean? Well, the 50-day will probably continue to slump for a bit like this, maybe level out, but what you're going to see is the 20-day moving average is going to break through the 50-day moving average, forming a golden cross in the center of it, which indicates that the overall trend for Ethereum is reversing. That is why these are the most important indicators, because it gives us a real outlook of how we're going to move from the perspective of momentum. Are we moving in an upwards trend or are we moving in a downwards trend? Obviously, our confirmation back here of the 20-day crossing below the 50-day was a confirmation of moving into a downtrend. If we see the opposite, where the 20-day crosses above the 50-day, that is confirmation of an uptrend and a price reversal. So that's what we're hoping. What we don't want to see is a really big drop in value, and that results in the 20-day crossing below the 200-day. That would be a very negative outlook for us. So we're hoping this doesn't occur, and we're hoping the doji that is currently sitting on today's candle is indicating that we are going to once again try and test the 50-day moving average and the resistance, which is sitting at $3,180 odd. So that is the price target for today, $3,180 to $90 roughly. We want to breach that and start moving upwards. Worst case scenario, we hopefully bounce off the 200-day moving average, which is sitting at $2,680. I'm hoping it doesn't come to that, but it is a possibility. That wraps up the Ethereum technical analysis for today, guys. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments section below, and let us know as well if you are an Ethereum holder. If you did enjoy today's video, remember to leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more of this sort of content. As I said, we cover crypto, investing, stocks, and wealth management. So if that tickles your fancy, hit subscribe and turn on bell notifications. I'll leave it there. Without further ado, I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.